Typically, Oracle will send an email to the administrator. Basically, they will send a link and a username and a temporary password to the administrators. So, and also they will provide a link, the my account URL link, which typically user can go to the my account URL using that temporary username and password. Once they go to the account URL, they could be able to see there what are the domains, what are the instances of provisioned for your company, right? So I have the one production instance and what test instance is provisioned for your organization. You can see those two basically. And also you can see the status of it, whether it is up and running, what is the current status basically. It means that those two instances are provisioned for you and it is ready for you to use. That's the meaning of it. So you can start using this instance. That's the meaning of this thing. And again, you could able to go to the individual domain, and also you could able to see how many users has logged in, what is the page load time, all that. If instance is being used, if it's the first time provision instance, you won't be seeing anything. Everything will be the blank basically, right? And again, if you go to this settings and you click on the open service, ideally you will be landing into the Fusion application environment. So let me open the instance. So you won't be seeing this instance when you come into the in the production scenario. In the production scenario, you will be going through your portal. You can actually screenshot. I'm not able to show that. Basically, if you click on these 4 lines, then typically you can see the open service console. And if you click on that, automatically you will be ending up in the Fusion applications page. What is the Fusion applications page? Typically, you'll be ending up in the application page like this. So which is coming up now, right? But in the demo instances, what are we are offering to you? Basically, Ravi is going to share this link to you, and he's going to provide the username and password. So what all you need to do, go to this link, and basically you could able to choose ERP, HCM cloud login, or sales cloud login, or HCM cloud login. If you click on that, automatically you will be logging into this specific instance basically. Okay, so let me open another instance. Okay, so once you click on this service URL, you'll be logging into this instance basically. Now initially Oracle will give you username and password to log into this instance, right? What username and password? As I said, they provide temporary username and password. So once you have the username and password, typically you could able to go to that, log in with that username and password into the Fusion applications, right? So once you log into the Fusion applications, typically so it is a Fusion application home screen, right? So it is a home screen, and again, what are the icons you are seeing here, what are the menus you are seeing here, everything based on security. We'll talk about security in detail later, right? So it is a basically Fusion application homepage. How does it look like? And again, the theme here is little different. There are various themes available. Example, if you go here, another instance. So basically, we have various themes available. We can always change the skin, and we can always change the logo, and we can always change a lot many properties here. And whatever screen you are seeing here, it is a mobile responsive screen. What does it mean? If you open the same application in your mobile, it will fit into your mobile screen. It is something Oracle started giving up from release 13 onwards, the mobile responsive pages, where you could able to enable this. And also we have other themes as well, like it is one theme. It is another instance actually. It is one theme. It's a vision theme basically. where you can also have the icons looks like this. Basically, it's not this kind of theme. It has a different theme, and where we can configure those themes. I will demonstrate that when I talk about customizations and personalization. So we have various themes available, and you can able to enable the theme. And again, if you see here we have the banner at the top where we could able to see the profile icon, and you could able to see the social sharing, and here you could able to see the employee news, basically where you could able to display the news to the employees. Means let us say you want to publish some news or some information to the employees, some announcements to the employees, and you want to publish these announcements for certain amount of time, maybe for 1 month or maybe for 6 months, and after that you want to take it out. You can able to keep as many employee newses as you want, basically. So it's all whatever you are seeing here, basically it's kind of one kind of look and feel, but you won't be seeing that look and feel here. And again, this banner, what are you seeing here, you can keep it here, or you can keep it in the left side, or you can completely hide it out. It's everything is configurable and doable, basically. Now typically once you begin the implementation, typically you won't be seeing, once you log in, typically you won't be seeing all this. You will be seeing only the limited icons, basically, right? Basically administrator kind of icons, basically. So what typically happens is once administrator account got created, now typically any organization decides what is the next step, how we begin with the implementation. Shall we go with the in-house implementation, or shall we take help from the implementation consultants, right? Mostly every organization take help from the implementation consultant. Once they get the implementation consultant onboarded, the first thing the implementation consultant will ask is, can you forward this email? Implementation consultant asks, when I say implementation consultant, whoever is the manager of the implementation team, that manager or administrator will ask the company to forward this email to them. Once this email is forwarded, then typically that is the point they start doing the implementation, basically. Then the implementation consultant, what typically they will do, then they will go to the Fusion application, and typically they will start provisioning the instance as per our implementation aspects, right? That is where security comes into the picture. The first step in any implementation flow is the security, right? So that is where we have to know how to build the Fusion application, right? Before going into the security, let me quickly walk you through the Fusion page navigations, which is very useful, because as an implementation partner, we should know that flow. Then it is easy for us to navigate across the pages. So let me open that. So Fusion page navigations, basically. So, and again, the Fusion user interface operates on many handheld devices, mobile or tablets, whatever. Now, basically, we are going to learn about the basic navigations, and there is something called settings and actions, and searching the information, and simplified user interface, smart navigation, embedded help. That's what we're going to learn. That's part of the simple navigation. Coming to the basic navigations, in any instance, basically, when log into the any Fusion instance, basically you'll be seeing this. It is the one. Let's see if you see this one, basically. In this case, whatever you are seeing here, it is called Springboard. It is called Springboard. What are you seeing here, right? And what are you seeing on the top? It is called Global Area. Okay. And what are you see here? It is called Navigator. You could able to see every icon, every what are you seeing here? If you think of it as a menu, every menu has some page. That is, sales is there. Sales is there. Sales is having some pages, right? and procurement is there, it has some pages, right? So every icon has some pages, menu and pages. They call it as a category, and each category we have page entry. We call that category and page entries. And if you go to the navigator, it actually the expansion version of the category and page entries. It says what are all the page entries and what are all the page entries. In the sales, we have these many page entries here, but once you go with the sales here, we're able to see the only 2 page entries. So what happened with the remaining page entries? Basically, for every user, we'll be given a provision to customize the springboard. It is called the personalizing springboard. If you go here, if you think that you might be having a lot of information, you don't want to display all the information, then typically you could be able to check whatever is needed. Maybe you want to check more the sales, then typically what you can do, you could be able to see the more page entries into that category, right? So we could be able to do that. Basically, every screen you'll be keep seeing that the springboard and springboard customization or personalization, and the navigator is very frequent way. And we spoke about this banner and the news, what I was talking about. So typically every home page will also contain this, slow, will also contain this global area, this home, and we have the favorites, and we have the watch list, and we have the notifications and workflow approvals, and we have the information, and it is called settings and actions. In the settings and actions, basically this list, what are you seeing here, this list is completely based on your security. If you have the administration access, then typically you could be able to see this administration, else you won't be seeing this basically, right? And again, everyone can see this accessibility settings and set preferences. Basically set preference, I think, but if you want to define how your currency should look like, date should look like, and your look and feel should look like, it's user perspective, basically user level personalization. And the administration, basically if you want edit pages and manage sandboxes, edit global page templates, it's all comes under the customization of the screen. So whenever you want to customize any screen, basically you have to activate a sandbox and you have to edit the pages and then do the changes. So we'll talk about this in detail. Setup and maintenance is actually like it's a single point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So just one question.
Yeah.
So administration part, even end user can do this part, or just we need to provide this one-time setup?
So basically administration, this specific screen access is given only for the people who have some administration roles actually. So one example is if you have the application implementation consultant role, it's a security role, then you can see this. Or if you have the finance administrator role, you can see this. So only some roles has access to do this administration, not everyone, not every user can see it.
Okay, and the perfect preference, everyone can do, and
everyone can
do.
see this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And troubleshooting can also be limited to the people who has a diagnosis role, basically, not for everyone. So that's also limited to certain people. And again, show help icons and application help, print me, about this application will be shown to everyone. So it is typically how the settings and actions looks like. And coming to setup and maintenance, it is actually the single point of entry to access any tasks across any application. So setup and maintenance access is also very much limited to the administrators and implementation consultant. Basically, using this, we could be able to search for any task across any application. So yesterday I was talking about the enterprise crawl and search framework, where we could be able to access any task and look for anything, and you can go to the specific screen directly, right? So it is with that. And it's again, that's very much limited to the administrators only. Okay, so it is all about the basic navigations, right? So and again, as I said, based on the user roles, based on the user and the roles assigned to the persons, the security roles assigned to the person, you could be able to see the specific icons. Okay, we'll talk about security in detail, basically, right? And coming to this page, there's one more. There is something called infolets. So infolets is basically comes again in the home page along with the springboard. So infolet is actually, I think I was showing you yesterday, I believe. So infolet is actually a report, basically what a report is delivered to the end user in the kind of a widget. Widget is actually a small box, right? So it's a widget. Basically, that widget carries 4 reports: the front report and back report and expanded report and detailed report, and all the user could able to see the widgets and access the widgets. And yeah, something like this, the add widgets. And again, what widgets can be shown to the employees, again based on their specific roles. Even they have access to the widget, that is a sickness widget. Even though they have access to the sickness widget, what data they can see is again based on the data role. Example, if employee if a China HR manager should be able to see the Chinese employee data, something like that, right? Again, that again based on the security access roles and the data roles, basically what we can show that. It's again very popular functionality, the infolets actually. And there's one more thing called quick actions. Quick actions is actually another it is infolets, and quick action is actually another it's not here. See, quick actions here. So the look and feel is a little bit different here. This is actually the vision instance, the plain theme, and it's actually the mobile responsive theme. So most of things will be the same, but the navigation a little bit different. Quick action is something like what are all the actions you can do here. You can access, you can quickly do by one click. Example, let us say if you wanted to see there are many quick actions here. If you want to submit resignation, or you wanted to check some onboarding tasks, so all these actions will be available in a single click. In general, what we need to do, we have to go to that specific specific icon, or expand that specific icon, and we have to go to the specific functionality. Basically, example, let us say I want to submit a resignation. Typically, I need to go to my personal information. From there, I need to submit resignation. If you go to the quick actions, all actions are available at a one place. Basically, they can go here and click the submit resignation, or you can go to your public information or share information. It's also available here, which is more. It's again, if you want to keep it or if you want to hide it, entirely it's your choice. You could absolutely do that. Basically, how you want to deliver it. Basically, so these are all the things you could able to see in the quick actions. And also in the quick actions, you can also, if you are a manager, you can also take actions on behalf of your direct or indirect reports. You can do that as well. If you are a manager, you can do that. So we can able to see all those things. And again, in the global area, as I said, we can see the company logo, navigator, all these things. And one important thing we most frequently we access here is the notifications. Whenever something is waiting for your approval, then typically you can go to these notifications and you could able to take action from there. You can approve it or reject it. Or if you want to know the more details, let's see. There are no notifications here actually. Instance is slow. So you can go here and take action. Again, the notification can also deliver to the email boxes. See, from email boxes also you can take the actions and it will come back as approval or rejected. Or if you want to more information, we can actually configure all typical workflow actions, whatever we see. See that action required, and if you want to approve it or discard it, you can able to do that. FYI information, everything is available here. Right, and settings and action we have seen, and most importantly, one thing we will be seeing in most of the pages. I will talk about deep links in a while. So if you go to any pages, the basic navigation, how does it work? If you go to any page, let us say go to the employees page, right? If you go to any page will be, most of the pages will be having this table search basically. So in this case, basically what you can do, you can go here, and most of the pages will have the search page by default as a home page, right? If you go to the ledgers, by default you can see the ledgers search page. Basically, if you want to go to the customer page, basically you'll see search page. Search page is the home page for most of the submodules, basically. So in this case, what you can do, you can always go and search for the information. By default, you will be seeing the basic search, and you can go to advanced search. And again, this layout, this look and feel is completely the ADF skin. ADF, if you go in ADF application, if you build any search page, basically you have option to choose the tabular option. And again, for every table, automatically you'll be seeing some list of actions called. Okay, let me search for some information. By default, you can see all the data, and when you do the search, by default you could be able to see these many columns. And if you think there are too many columns are there in this table which is very difficult for you to navigate, then typically what you can do, you can go to the view, and it's a common feature every ADF table search. Actually, you can go here and you could be able to which columns you don't, if you don't want to show that column, just uncheck it, it automatically go away. So whatever columns you don't want, just uncheck that, it automatically go away, basically. So you could able to do that. And see, locations is gone. If you want to hide the job, then you can go here and hide the job. And you can always reorder the columns and sort the columns, whatever the sort you want it to. Everything you can do in the search itself. And you can reorder the columns you wanted to, whatever you wanted to do, you can do that, right? So, and you can always format it. Now, another thing, another important thing, another beauty of that is basically, and another beauty of this is actually when you do some search. Example, let me go for advanced search and then look for some location. Probably I want to look for some location as Dubai or something like that. There's no one is there. So okay, fine. So let us say some certain users or some certain employees or certain in analyst or HR analyst or financial analyst want to look at only the some specific location employees, some specific data. Then what they can do, whatever search they have done, they can able to save the search, right? They can able to save the search, and they can able to let us say John is right, like people say John, something like that, John search. You can apply to anything. So you want to set as a default search run automatically. Then what happens is once you go back and then go back and come in, it automatically apply the search functionality, and you automatically see the data here, right? And again, you could able to, we have the default all people, which means you could able to it's a default search basically where you could able to enter the information. It's complete. You could able to save the search, and you can personalize the search, and you could able to run it. So it's completely your choice. With John search, you can delete it. It's not yours, right? So all these things typically you'll see this kind of functionality everywhere. And when you are developing the ADF page, you will see this functionality, how to create the ADF page with the table format basically. And once you go to any page, any page, apart from the search, most commonly what you'll be seeing is, let's take some John and let's take some employee. Let's go to this person. Then typically every page will have the set of regions basically, right? Here basically we have management, employment, parent region. Under that we have assignment details, child region. Under that we have different sections basically. You can see that. And also everywhere we could able to see something called panel list. It is called the panel tab or panel list. It will have the list of tasks actually, right? So here we can see the list of tasks. And absence is the task list. Under that we have the list of tasks. Period is a task list. Under that we have a list of tasks. You can see the list of tasks in every Fusion application page. Okay, so and you'll be seeing something called search icon here, where you could able to apply the search for the specific page. Maybe you can look for any other person, and you can open that person. Maybe you can look for another person, and I could able to open that specific person basically from here. So you could able to see the search functionality as well. See that automatically that person record got opened up. Okay, so you'll be seeing the search and task pans very frequently. And also there is one more thing available. It's actually specific to HR, but there's one more thing available here called reporting. So most of the applications pages, basically a reporting icon will be available here. What does it mean? Reports specific to that application, reports specific to that object. Example, let us say if I deliver a user, let us say he's talking about employee management. If I deliver a user with a set of reports specific to the employee management, so that they can click on these reports and they can run the report whatever they wanted to. So sometimes you could able to see that kind of thing as well. Let me show you. Yeah, here if you see that we have the table task panel tab and search panel tab, and there is something called analytics, where you could able to make the reports available to the user. And those reports basically you can create the reports and make that report available here, right? That report can be a visual analytical report like a pie chart or a graph or a combination of charts, graphs and table, or it is a simple Excel report or a simple a PDF report. We can make any kind of report available there basically. Again, security plays a role there, where typically not everyone can run the report. Depends upon the security, they could be able to start running the report basically. That's also there. Okay, right. So typically, yeah, mostly we covered all these things basically. And there's one more thing is called hidden strip. So some of the pages will have the strip here. This strip is nothing but, let me show you. Let us say I'm into the, okay, the strip is not here. So this is called, there is something called a panel strip. What happens here is basically, let us say if you wanted to, you are in the tools, let us see, you are in the tools. Basically, if I go to schedule process example, right? And from schedule process, I want to go to the security console, right? So strip functional, what it can do, let me go here. Strip, what it can do, it's not available in this theme basically. We will show you how to enable that. So automatically what happens, what are you are seeing here, right? Whatever the tools, what are you seeing here, preferences, announcements, deep links, what are you seeing here? All those things are available here actually above the strip. So that what you can do, you can you can click on the strip, and automatically you could able to see all those things at the top here, and I click on those things and keep going to the specific applications basically. So it is just end user perspective, right? And there's one more, we can see most of the screens basically you will see some drop down like this, right? So basically it's called smart navigation. So you will be seeing this kind of smart navigations most of the places. Example, for the specific person, you could be able to take some actions. You can just click drop down and take whatever actions you wanted to, maybe increase salary or whatever. Similarly, if there is something called information icon, you can click on the information icon as well, and you could be able to perform the recent actions, or you can see the more information. You can do that as well. So you could able to see all those kind of information there basically. And most of the applications, basically you're seeing something called help icon here, show help. If you click on the show help, automatically what happens, you could see the question mark here. If you click on the question mark, automatically you could able to see the information here. There's no help content found for this entry. And you could able to see the information here. And some of the times, maybe you want to customize the help. Customize the help in sense, maybe you want to keep our custom help. When some people click on the question mark, you wanted to show our custom content here. When this someone click on more help, you wanted to show your custom content here. In those cases, basically, we can able to customize the help. We can actually do the customize the help basically to do the customization of the help based on the access levels in the custom based on the access level. There is one more task called manage custom help. If you click on the manage custom help, what you can do, you can add the contents here, and you can actually add more contents of the custom help here, so that end user just click on the question mark and can see the necessary information here. So Oracle has given access in the SaaS instances to do the help customization. And when they say help customization, you can add the images, you can add the videos, you can add the rich content, whatever you want it to, you can do that actually. Basically, for that, some user should have a role called application help text administration. If the person has that role assigned, then typically they could able to go and customize any of the help basically. Okay. Right. So it is basically the basic navigation, and you'll be seeing it very frequently and in every page basically. And coming to the administration part, most of our work will be there in the tools basically. There's something called tools. In most of our work will be there in the tools at the beginning of the implementation, right? So basically, why, especially in the tools, is like kind of a system administrator responsibility in the e-business suite world, basically where you could able to do most of important tasks basically. So example, if you go and see if the security console, it is where you can define the roles, users, assign users to the roles, and you can actually upload the security certificates, and you could able to set how the user name should look like, what is the password policy. All security specific information goes into the security console. Schedule process is nothing but if you want to schedule any job, run any job, it's like a concurrent manager in the EBS world. Similar to that, schedule process will take care of all the schedules of the EBS Fusion jobs basically. And transaction console is one place basically where you could able to create your workflow rules. Right? There are two places where you can define your workflow rules, or where you can monitor your workflows and notifications, and where you could able to assign your workflows to someone else or terminate the workflow processes, or we will see why the workflows got failed. Everything can be monitored from the transaction console. And there's one more thing called BPM console. From there also you can do that. And there is one more thing called Developer Connect. This Developer Connect is the place where you could able to see the for every Fusion business object, what are the web services are available and how we can access them, and what is the definition of that web service, and what methods are available in the web service, and how we can run that. Everything is available in the Developer Connect basically. Reporting analytics is basically a place where you can go ahead and create your reports. Basically, it will direct you to the reporting homepage, that OBIE homepage, where you could able to create your BA Publisher report, or ODB reports, or KPI reports, or scorecard reports, or dashboards, create the agents, and many more things basically. Okay. So everything has its own importance. Alert Composer, where typically you can create alerts, right? How we have to create alerts in the EBS. If people are from EBS background, basically how we can create alerts in the alert manager. I think responsibility. From there we can create alerts and deliver the emails whenever the event happens, based on the schedule, something like that. Right. We have seen the navigations enough. Let's go back to our